Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2024. Welcome back to the Neofly series. This is of course episode 43. We're back in our Alouette 3 on Badu Island. As you can hear, they're busy loading up our cargo. We've got a short 10 or so minute flight from here back to Horn Island, and then from there I'm going to be jumping into the Honda Jet and heading back into Papua New Guinea so we can go and check out some of our operations there.
You are clear to start your engine.
Okay, so they are now done loading everything up. So, just as the previous episode, the weather's not great, so it looks like we're going to have some rain to deal with in the distance. It's not the worst ever, but yeah, there definitely is some rain around. But anyway, let's jump aboard and we can start getting things prepped. So let's disengage the rotor brake before we forget, and then pop all of these on. Actually hear the thunder in the distance. Okay, so today is nice and simple. For the first flight at least, it's just from here down to Horn Island. Okay, let's get the booster on and the starter on.
Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off.
Cool, I can't click on the GPS. Brilliant. Okay, blades are starting to move. Can't do anything here. Brilliant. Okay, just gently bringing up that fuel valve or fuel flow lever. Right, there it is at 100%. Let's close that, switch that off. Can I still not do anything here? Nope. Oh well. I kind of know which direction it is. It's behind. It's kind of that way into the rain. Okay, let's just check. Right, I think we are good to go. Let's get out of here. Worrying that that's still there. It said we were good to go, so we must be done loading cargo.
Pilot from dispatch. Fly safe.
We need to make our way through that wall of water. Now that side looks a lot heavier. I'm probably going to go through that gap just to the left of the grey bit, like the dark grey part. That seems to be the lightest. there's even lightning in there. That's not good. I think we can just make it through there. All the storm and the lightning and stuff seems to be on that side. Still nothing on the GPS, yeah. Very windy out there. We're heading almost exactly in the right direction, so that's good at least. Just starting to see the islands in the distance there, so I think we're going to be okay in terms of the rain and getting through at least. Lucky that's just off to the side. If that was right in the middle here, would have had some problems. Okay, just standard cargo today, so no crazy radioactive material or flammable gas or anything to worry about. Still hear the thunder on this side. There's lightning over there as well. rain on the windshield, but perfect gap for us to make through here. It looks like on Horn Island there's a bit of rain as well. That actually looks quite dense there. Yeah, we need to go this way a little bit now that we're clearing this weather. I think that rain is more on Thursday Island. Looks like we're out of the weather for now. I'm still seeing drops on the windscreen. Oh, that's bad over there. There's a little patch in front of us, but other than that, I think we are good. Honda Jet will be above all of this stuff. We've picked up a bit of a headwind here because we've slowed down a lot since we passed the weather. So maybe with those storms you've got that like convection, so it's sucking in air. So as we're heading towards it, you're going with the air. Now that we're heading away from it, the air's being sucked towards it, so we've got a headwind. That's my theory anyway. Right, we're just over halfway now. lightning up ahead. Pretty close to the airport. Though we do have to go a little to the left, so we might be alright. Looks like that storm is over the bigger island. That's Prince of Wales Island. There's that little island with the 1 or 2 trees on it. Just see the airport up ahead. Weather looks good. All of the rain and stuff is over that side. There's more rain out there, but it's far in the distance. Runways in sight. Just start slowing down. feels like there's quite a bit of wind actually. Where's the wind suck? Already past it, I think. Anyway, welcome back to Horn Island. We'll be out of here just now. So this will be the last we see of Horn Island for a little bit. Just set it down nice and gently over here.
You greased that landing. Ace.
Like so.
Taxi to parking and shut down your engine. Pilot stand by. The cargo is being removed.
Everything should be unloaded. Okay, let's engage the rotor brake. And we can switch everything off. There's the click spot. There we go. Okay, there's our Alouette 3 parked nicely on the ramp at Horn Island. We'll be leaving this one here. We do have another Alouette 3 back in Nadzab. So anyway, what I'm going to do now quickly is leave this parked here. We'll go and grab the Honda Jet, and then we're going to be shooting off in that back to Papua New Guinea. So I'll see you in just a bit once we're ready to set up the Honda Jet. Okay, so here we are in our Honda Jet. We loaded up with full fuel. It's just me and one of the other crew members. No passengers today, and we're going to be going from here on Horn Island up to Nadzab. So we're looking at about an hour and 45 minutes flight time. I'm going to be using Beyond ATC. We'll see how that does. But let's jump aboard. Start getting everything set up. So that caravan, that's Beyond ATC, so that's interesting. I didn't think it did smaller aircraft like that. Is that the only one? Yeah, there's nothing else. If I look on the map and see, Skytrans 221 from here to YSII, wherever that is. Interesting. Oh no, sorry, departed YSII and landed here on Horn Island. Okay, let's start getting things powered up. Let's get this out of the way for starters. Right, I love the Honda Jet, it's so simple. Okay, all the lights on this aircraft are done automatically, so that's good. So I think let's just go and get our flight plan. Okay, we are Papa 2, Whiskey Delta Hotel. Okay, batteries on. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, oxygen. Pressurization, electrical, on and normal. ELT, normal. Nose wheel steering, normal. Landing gear down. Alternate gear release handles stowed. Parking brake set. Flaps up. Thrust levers cut off. Speed brake. Retracted. Ice protection. Normal and off. Okay, fuel panel. All normal. Trim panel. Good. Windshield heat panel, all normal. Pneumatic panel, normal, normal, bleeds normal. Okay, that's good. Dark. Avionics done. Don't have any passengers. Rudder pedals. Okay, seats, doors, parking brake. CAS. That all makes sense because the engines are off. Voltage, 25. Okay, we can now start up our engine. Our route is pretty much set. We'll just get our departure and stuff from ATC. So, no tower or anything here, so we go straight to center on 135.3. Okay, so let's just come up here, go 135.3 and put that in. Okay. Brisbane Center, good afternoon. Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, Honda Jet on the apron at Horn Island. Request IFR to NADZAB.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, Brisbane Center. Expect runway 32. Climb 6,000 feet on runway center line, then expect radar vectors as 6er. Squawk 4025.
Okay, expect runway 32, initial climb 6,000 feet, and radar vectors to a 6er, squawk 4025, Whiskey Delta Hotel.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, read back correct. Start or taxi at pilot's discretion. Hold for release. Report holding short runway 32.
Report holding short on runway 32, Whiskey Delta Hotel. Okay, that's in. So we're also cleared up to 6,000. And it will be runway 32. Okay, we have no departures, so that's fine. What I can do is, let's do this then. Okay, so 3-2 is the close one. It's not the longest runway. Just have a look and see. We need 3,700 feet for takeoff in the Honda Jet. We're not even close to max weight, so we should be fine. Cool. Then the other thing I should do is not here. Yeah, we'll just run through the tests. Cool. Yeah, and that's speed bugs, and we can accept that. Okay, we can fire it up, so we'll just do engine 1. Engine 2. Okay, engine instruments. Anti-gas not required. External power is already disconnected. Good stuff. Okay, we'll turn this on. Anti-gas not needed. Transponder code is set. Flight ID, flight plan, navigation source, FMS, altimeters 1011. Okay, flaps set for takeoff. Speed brake retracted. Cabin signs. We don't actually have any passengers. Okay, parking brake release, and then we can taxi, check the brakes, check the steering, check the instruments. Alright, let's go. Okay, brakes, checked. Nose wheel steering. Good. Okay, before takeoff check. Flaps trim. Okay, speed brake, CAS messages, navigation, flight guidance, takeoff data, takeoff briefing, radar, and ice. Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, holding short runway 32 Horn Island.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, released for departure. Clearance void if not off by 2:15 Zulu. If not off by 2:15 Zulu, contact no later than 2:25 Zulu. Time now 1:55 Zulu. Frequency change approved.
Okay, for departure, runway 32 Whiskey Delta Hotel. Messed up that lineup significantly. I said frequency change approved, but I'm pretty sure we're just gonna stay with Brisbane Centre. There's no one else to switch to. Okay, here we go. Sync up the heading. Cool. Just a trim that was a few clicks short of where it needed to be. Airspeed's alive, building quickly. And there's rotate.
Have a nice flight. Just to remind you, we're not paying you for this one.
Okay, gears coming up. Flaps coming up. Autopilot on. Yaw damper on. Center Whiskey Delta Hotel, passing 3,000 feet, climbing 6,000.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, Brisbane Centre, radar contact, climb to flight level 410.
Up to flight level 410, Whiskey Delta Hotel. Okay, all the way up to cruise.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, turn right, heading 035. Expect further clearance in about 30 miles.
Right heading 035, Whiskey Delta Hotel. Okay, all the way up to 41,000 feet today. Like so. Okay, that's set. We cleared up to a flight level, so let's go standard and just finish off this checklist. Okay, cabin pressure. Why that is zero.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, turn right, heading 105.
Right heading 105, Whiskey Delta Hotel. turn these lights off. Heading 030 Papa Delta Hotel. Yeah, we're already through 12,000 feet. There we are, powering our way. Almost. No, not quite. We've still got a bit of a way, about 20 minutes to go before we cross into PNG airspace. Like I said, we're already over the weather. Oh, that's Badu Island. The runway's over there where we landed in the previous episode and took off from earlier in this episode in the Alouette. Through 18,000 feet, well, coming up to 19,000 actually. A bit bumpy up here actually. Direct A6er, resume on navigation. Papa Delta Hotel. Okay, let's go nav mode. And we're now on our FMS course. Okay, flight level 220. So I should probably have actually bumped this up to 210. And then we're looking for 0.57 Mach. That's where we'll switch over. Right, flight level 290 now. might be heading into a storm there. Okay, 30,000 feet, 0.57. Okay, ice detected. Nothing on the weather radar for this storm up ahead. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we are picking up some light weather. I think we're actually going to end up climbing above it anyway. Nice and bumpy already. Okay, coming up to flight level 340. Bit of a headwind actually. Flight level 350. And we're in the clouds. And it is bumpy. Look at our pitch trim. minus 43 degrees out there. Let's maybe turn this off. It's still okay so far. Okay, 360. NADSAB is actually reporting hazy conditions. Few clouds, 1,000 feet. Hazy, but visibility is still okay, so. 32 degrees. Hopefully we actually get above this 370, another 4,000 feet. Maybe we'll just be above this weather. Should hand us over to Moresby control shortly.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel.
There we go.
Port Moresby control 118.1.
118.1 Papa Delta Hotel. Good day. Control, good afternoon. Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, flight level 390, climbing flight level 410.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, Port Moresby control, radar contact. Our ground speed 328. We actually feel quite slow, but we're fine. We're not going to break through this stuff though. I think we're going to be sitting just in the top of this. It's just 2,000 feet to go.
0.72. Flight level 41, just inside this weather still, but it's not as bumpy. So let's do our checklist. Altimeters, standard, altitude, flight level 410. Systems are all good for now. Next up is our descent. Okay, let me have a look at the flight plan quickly so we can get our VNav set up. Right, so at NADZAB we're expecting runway 27. The RNAV approach. So let's put that in. Okay, so RNAV 27. Actually be with Larad, and then minimums 580 Barrow. Okay, now we should have a top of descent. Yes, we do, because we've got restrictions in there. Great. So our top of descent is basically right over the middle of the mountains. Okay, so I think I'm going to cut it here, and then I will join you guys again when we prep for our descent into Nadza. Okay, we're a few minutes from our top of descent, but we've already been cleared to descend down to 8,000 feet. We've been assigned runway 27, RNAV for runway 27, but no transition or anything. We're just going to be getting vectors. So let's dial this down to 8,000 feet. Can I arm the VNav now already? Yes, I can. Okay, like so. I guess we can just do like a 1,000 feet per minute descent until we catch up to the vertical path, kind of like Airbus does. Meaning if you do a managed descent before the top of descent, it'll descend at 1,000 feet a minute until it catches up with the profile. Okay, checklists. Landing field elevation is set. Anti-ice is off. Altimeters we will do at transition level. any passengers actually. Okay, NADZAB is still reporting hazy conditions. Heading 110, Papa Delta Hotel. 110 is like 90 degrees to the right. That's pretty intense. It's taking us way off of, mind you, it's probably going to take us all the way out to the coast there and then bring us in towards Larid, I guess. But I mean, we could just turn to like here 060 would have been good. I guess we have gone too far off of our course, which is why we've lost our VNAV path.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, turn left, heading 040.
That's better. Left heading 040, Papa Delta Hotel. That's a better vector. Should have just started with that. So we're coming in on 27. We'll see, maybe we can exit here. It just depends on the approach and into the apron. Approach on 118.6, Papa Delta Hotel. Good day. That is insane. Okay, 118.6. I've got my co-pilot doing that now. Okay, that That is just ridiculous. Approach Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, passing flight level 275, descending 8,000 feet.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel NADSUB approach, QNH 1011, expect radar vectors for RNAV runway 27.
QNH 1011, expect vectors for the RNAV runway 27, Papa Delta Hotel. Okay, seats and signs, passenger briefing, cabin signs, avionics, all set up. Landing data, good. CAS messages. Approach, then flaps. Left heading 030, Papa Delta Hotel. I think we're still gonna be too high here. Detected. What's our temperature? -5. Let's just get the anti-ice on for now.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, descend to 5,000 feet.
Descend to 5,000 feet, Papa Delta Hotel. This descent rate is unbelievable. Well, we are falling out of the sky. I'm actually going to put in some speed brake to help us slow down, you know. To get under that 250 knot restriction. It is 10,000 feet.
Vertical track.
Yeah, we're below below 250.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, descend to 4,000 feet.
Descend to 4,000 feet, Papa Delta Hotel. Okay, let's see if I go flight level change now, just so it descends at that maximum speed. Well, it maintains the speed and descends as fast as it can.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, turn left, heading 300.
Left heading 300, Papa Delta Hotel. Yeah, we might actually be able to salvage this.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, turn left, heading 300, descend to 3,600 feet.
Left heading 300, descend to 3,600 feet, Papa Delta Hotel.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, turn left, heading 300, descend to 3,000 feet.
Left heading 300, descend to 3,000 feet, Papa Delta Hotel. Actually put us past the runway centerline. And we're going straight into a mountain, so we need a left-hand turn like right now. Yeah, I'm turning left. And I'm going to on the
Delta
approach.
Hotel, contact Nadsat Tower 121.7.
121.7, Papa Delta Hotel, good day. Okay, a very messy approach. Let's go flaps 1.
Vertical track.
Okay, gear coming down. Flaps 2. Okay, we're far too high.
Autopilot.
Tower, good afternoon. Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, runway 27.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, Nadsat Tower, wind 325 at 3, runway 27 cleared to land.
Clear to land runway 27, Papa Delta Hotel.
2000.
Yeah, let's get back on that glide path. This is a very messy approach, but lots of things were not ideal, but I think we're at 2,000 or 1,200 radio now. That's going to jump around because of the terrain, but we're pretty much back on profile.
1000. 1,000. 1,000.
Okay, let's see if we can turn this into a decent landing after all that.
500. 400. 400. 400.
Okay, I have control of everything now.
300.
Fuel damper coming off.
300.
That
200.
radio altimeter callouts are pretty wild.
200. 100.
I don't know where the haze is that it's being reported because it's very clear here actually.
Nice landing, pilot.
Nice and windy.
Taxi
Speed brakes
departing
are
and
up.
shut down your engine.
No, we're not gonna make that taxiway.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, exit right at Alpha.
Right on Alpha, Papa Delta Hotel. I think that was Alpha. Oh, Alpha's all the way at the end. Okay, we're good. Okay, speed brakes, flaps. If I'd touched down in the right place, could have made Bravo. But it's not the end of the world. All in all, that was a pretty messy descent and approach. Landing was okay, just touched down really far. Delta Hotel requests taxi to assigned ramp.
Papa 2 Whiskey Delta Hotel, ramp 9 at taxi via Alpha.
Ramp 9 taxi via Alpha, Papa Delta Hotel. There's actually a couple of airliners on the ramp there.
Negative, taxi via Alpha.
Taxi via Alpha, Papa Delta Hotel. Okay, so we're not actually going to the apron, we're going to our normal parking. So ramp 9 is all the way at the end, where we parked the Kodiak and stuff on previous episodes. What's that? ATR 2737s. orange one is Skya. What's the other one? Yeah, Negrini, I think. Yeah. So that's actually a good sign, because the next thing I want to set up is some A319 flights out of here. If those 737s can get in, 319 will be fine as well. I don't think we could have taxied any further if we wanted to. All the way to the end of the runway, and then back to the taxiway at the opposite end of the entire airport. Yeah, 8,000 foot runway will be plenty for the 319. Needs like just under 6,000 feet or something like that. Okay, there we are, safely arrived. Let's just shut down the engines. Lights and everything are done automatically.
Ready for engine start.
Okay, so we can actually turn off. Flaps, trims, parking brake, wheel chocks. Engines are off. Oxygen supply. Oh, so pull is off. Okay. Parking brake, we'll leave that on. And then simply battery off. Right, there we go. Okay, welcome back to NADZAB. We haven't been here for several episodes. That's worrying. But we are back to once again battle the weather, I guess. So we'll see in the next episode what the weather has in store for us. If it's kind of like this, we can jump in the Kodiak once again and visit some of the smaller airstrips, maybe even in the 207. There was an issue with the 207 in flights in 2024. That's why I didn't fly it previously. I stuck with the Kodiak, but we'll see. If the Kodiak's not gonna work because of the weather, we'll start that 319 route between here and Port Moresby, and otherwise we've always got the Honda Jet, we've got the RJ as well that we can fly, so plenty of options for the next couple of episodes back here in Papua New Guinea. But that's going to bring us to the end for today. As always, if you made it right to this point, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do down below, and hopefully I see you in the next one.